Painting with Richard. Today we're going to paint red wine from my wine series. The colors you will need are light purple, black, burnt umber, light blue, light brown, yellow ochre, prism violet, white, yellow, light green, and hooker's green. You will also need a small roller and a 1 and 2 inch throwaway brush. You can get these at your local hardware store. You fill your tray with a yellow-brown paint. I get it at Home Depot. The code for it is 634-315-7707. I start with the blank canvas and roll on the base color. It's just like painting a wall. Make sure you cover it completely. Next, I use a dark brown. I mix it 50-50 with faux glaze. Using a 1 inch brush, I dab it on the canvas. Using cheesecloth, I dab it a little bit more and spread the paint, making veins. Now, using a swirling and dabbing motion, you go over the canvas. Repeating the steps, you cover the whole canvas. Using your fine point brush, you create cracks. Then using cheesecloth, you blend them in. That's how you do a faux background. It's just like painting a wall at your house. Let's start by blocking the vines in. I like to sketch a little for layout. As I've said many times, it's best to paint on the white because your colors will stand out. I mix a little color in the white so you can see where your shadows will go. Remember, you can change anything you want. It's your painting. You do the same on the leaves. We start the grapes the same way. I'm working my way around the glass. We start with color because we're looking through the bottle. We want it to look like liquid. First, I outline the bottle. Then draw the paint inward. Work your way around all the edges and around the glass. Using my 1 inch brush, I fill in the rest of the bottle, bringing in the purple. After the white dries, I start adding color to the grapes, using white and light purple, painting in the highlights. Do the same on all the grapes. This gives the grape shape and dimension. You do the same around the glass. Just keep going all the way around. Now we start on the vines and the leaves using white and light green. We put the veins on the leaves. Now we start on the grapes behind the glass. Because of the glass, you don't want them to line up. You need that look in your painting. Also, they will look distorted. I create that by blending white into the grapes. Then using my fine point brush, I create the distortion. I continue this throughout the glass. Next, you bring the vines in. You can use the same method. Next, I block out the label. Same thing, you want to paint on the white. Once you've outlined the edges, grab your 1-inch brush and fill in the label. Also a little shadow for the glass. I like to go from dark to light and pull the lighter paint outward. Next, the label behind the glass, bringing the white label into the grape. Just work your way down, following the curves of the glass. Next, with the darker purple, add the wine. The label is like a painting in a painting. Again, I like to sketch the placement. Start by painting the tree with green, using white and painting wet on wet. It gives shadows and highlights, creating depth. I block out the branches with white, add a little brown for the shadows, then light brown for highlights. A little blue with white for the sky. I fill in the whole background to the edge of the glass. On the glass, I use the same technique following the curves of the glass. We're looking for the distortions of looking through the glass. Add a few clouds. Need some behind the glass. Put in as many or as few as you'd like. You need to blend clouds. They don't have sharp edges. Next, the wall. Block it in with yellow, brown, and white. Same on the glass. Make sure you follow the curves of the glass for effect. With a dark brown, add the stones to the wall and behind the glass. Hooker's green for the grass in front of the wall. Fill it all in and don't forget the glass. We start on the next level, the wine in the glass. Instead of following the curves of the glass, we create the reflection through the wine. A little white for the top of the wine where the label shows through. Time to add a few mountains. Block them in with white. I put in a range of foothills in this one. Same technique as on the glass. Added the rows of grapes. Next, a little white for contrast. Blend in the brown. You do the same effect on the glass. Add the sun. A little reflection in the sky. To soften, I blend with my fingers. Add color to the mountains. It's time for a few grapes. I use dark purple and white for shadows and highlights. Remember to paint wet on wet so you can get different shades on the painting. Using the white, add your highlights. Keep going till you fill in all the grapes. Next, we need a name on the label. I sketch in the name for placement. Then I paint in the letters. If I make a mistake, I go back with a little white and straighten out the letters. Just continue till you get the name of the vineyard. When you get to the glass again, follow the curves and distort the letters. We need to add the wine into the glass. I start with the label area and fill it in with purple. A little white where the vines will go. Blend the white and purple together. A few grapes as you're looking down through the surface of the wine. You use the same technique to make the grapes look distorted. Add more purple for the rest of the wine. You want to carry on the distorted look. I use a fine point brush to define the level of the wine. Start blending with green for the leaves. We need to highlight the grapes with a little white. Painting wet on wet gives a great color mix. Darker purple for the shadows. A little cleanup on the edges. Now with white, I create motion in the wine. Need to see the labeling through the wine. I do this with white. Then work my way down to the next level of the glass. Do a little cleanup and blend for the whole label. It seems like I jump around a lot on the painting, but when I see something that needs a little work, I go back and touch up that section. The stem of the glass needs a little reflection. I do this with purple and white. One final time, I blend and touch up the painting. Then shadows and highlights on the grapes. One more thing that needs to be done. What kind of wine is in the painting? I basically go through the same steps when we painted the name on the label. A final cleanup with white. Well, I think this one is done.